Okay. Yeah, I was going to print out a copy of all the words that I've been spending the last 2 days trying to find here, and basically I just lost the whole damn file. So I'm going to try and do a lot of this stuff from memory of what I've got from what I had a couple days ago. Okay. What we've got here is basically the curtain over America, or the curtain that the wizard is hiding behind in The Wizard of Oz, is the United States Feudal Code System. Feudal, F-E-U-D-A-L. And it basically is covering over the true constitutional federal republic system in the process. So in this country, we've allowed America to be infiltrated with this medieval system of feudal manors, M-A-N-O-R, and they are the United States corporate manor as the master manor in the country, and then all of the state of, like Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Texas, corporate manors. The attorney generals are the bar members as the barons, B-A-R-O-N-S, over these feudal law corporate manors. Okay? These manors are holding our fee simple American homage ancestral estates that were set up by certificates using our birth person's date, 9-month birthday, with a final name to make a feudal contract. Okay? So that's what that's done. Now, a fee simple, it's called fee simple because fee is the same as inheritance. Simple is the same as lawful or pure. So a fee simple is the same as lawful inheritance or pure inheritance, estate. And all of these in the feudal law system all deals with land. Okay? Under fee, fi, fo, fum scenario, you can look up fee and fife in the dictionaries. All of those words I lost in the process. But the attorney generals are the place that we need to go. Now, you need to have an estate EIN to claim your assets out of these fee simple accounts, these estates. You either have a military DD2 honorable estate. Now, if you have a selective service number, you also have another military estate by way of the selective service number. Okay? Now, you also have the Social Security account, and that is also a fee simple account, estate. You have a Church of Rome fee simple estate, and then you have your certificate of live birth or naturalization. If you are naturalized after 7 years, you would have a naturalization estate. Now, all of those are now belong to you because you are the American, the homage ancestral inherent estate inheritor. Okay? You're the true blood to that fictional person that's holding your estate. Now, he died at the age of 25, your age of being 25. you have to calculate your age out properly. You take the date you were born, that's the birthing date that your fictional person is using. You add 3 months to that, and that will give you your first birth date, birthing date. Okay? That's B-E-R-T-H date, and that's when you were placed upon the land. Normally, your mother carried you in her arms for about 3 months, roughly, give or take a couple days, until you got too damn fat, and basically she put you on the ground, said start crawling around, lose some of that baby fat. That's when you were placed upon the land. And basically at 1 year of age, from date of conception, that is when you have you were given your lawful claim or your lawful inheritance, estate inheritance. And this goes all the way back to the very beginning of the Bible, to where basically the whole earth was given to Adam. And then it was supposed to be divided up as the people were born upon the land. But we've allowed these deceivers, these evil witches or whatever you want to look at them, to come in and take our assets away from us. It's medieval knights and lords, barons, and hold our stuff away from us. Why is there so much stuff on FEE and FEUD and feudal and all these other medieval terms in the dictionary? If they don't apply, why are they there? Well, they must apply in some regards. Well, they do apply in every regard. And see, that's the system that we're operating under. But you have to make your separation and identify yourself different than that person that's on that certificate of live birth. He is one of your cells. He is one of your persons. Okay? And he's your person by blood because he's your birth sac person. The mirror image of you. Just like the Shroud of Turin in the religious sect. There was the linen that was laid over Jesus gave an impression of Jesus. Okay, so it's a mirror image. All your photos that are taken, they're a mirror image of you.
8 o'clock.
Someone needs to mute out *6 if you can. Okay. So, and in this process, okay, family is very big. Okay, that's really where I got started going into the family, and then looking at family states down through there, and then about ancestors from there going into it, and then homage, an acknowledgement made by a vassal in the presence of his lord that he is his man, that is his subject or vassal. And then homage was L-I-E-G-E or feudal. So you need to look up all the words that have feudal in them, L-I-E-G, and I'll try and retrieve this document that I have, but if I can, I'll try and get it over to Tom. I don't know what happened, but yeah, about 24 hours or better of research that I was going through here, trying to pull this all together. And then, but we just have to go in now. When you go in to claim your accounts, your estates. You have to have an EIN number, an estate EIN number. Okay? And you get that with an SS4. Now, the date of your person's death will be your 25th birthday, not his. Okay? And then you put that in, and then you have that EIN number. Now you have a means for them to transfer the assets out of that estate over to you. You have the military DD-214. You have a military fief, okay, or thief, or whatever it is. And there's also like the Social Security. That is an improper thief, okay, or fief, or however you want to pronounce it. Fee state, but it's still a fee simple because it does belong to you. It belonged to your fictional person, your ancestor, because he was born 3 days or 3 months before you, so he is ancestor to you. And you're the only true blood relative to him, so that's what gives you your full right of claim to the inheritance or to the estate that is left by him. Now, if you don't claim it, they've got things in this feudal system that they can come in and try and claim it down the road. When you go through all the different definitions and everything that I had there, setting this all up, the understanding in the process to explain all of what's going on here. But it's all in the dictionaries, and try and use more than one dictionary. Ballantyne's, Black's, and Bouvier's dictionaries, at least. When you're going through these items. And then sit down and talk it over amongst yourself. Think about what was going on in the movie Wizard of Oz. The evil witches were all in castles. And in a feudal system, in a feudal manner, okay, in the feudal system, they have their lords, and then they have their military, and then everybody else is classified as a serf or a servant to the manor or a slave to the manor, however you want to look at it. But you were supposed to be free at the age of 25. And nobody really went out here and tried to ask the question, why are there so many of these medieval words in a modern dictionary when they don't really apply? People have to start asking the question why. Until you start asking the question why and then try and find the answer on your own, basically you're not going to be able to get a good handle on what's going on. That's how we were told to read the Bible, was as a little child. And a little child reads something and then they ask the question, why is it like that? And then you have to fill in the holes because the Bible is a holy book. It's full of holes. So basically I just wanted to get this call out here, try and get you people to start thinking along different lines. It is definitely the attorney generals that we have to go to. And they have in their offices a customer department, and all of those customer people, except for the secretaries, are basically classified as investment brokers. Why would there be investment brokers in the Attorney General's office? Because they have to broker out the bonds that are being written against these estates, or when we want something processed. You've got a bill. Basically, turn around, give them your estate EIN number, give them the account number, either it's on the certificate of live birth or like selective service. They're 11-digit account numbers. They will know what account number, and basically, if you give them the EIN, it's tied back to your Social Security number. Then you can collapse everything in the process. Self-executing provision. Okay? That is a provision of the Constitution which is effective without legislation, no action by the legislature being required to put it into operation. The age 25 is in the Constitution. That is a self-extracting provision. That basically you had, at the age of 25, you had to be a free man if you were to be a representative. You could not be under bondage to anyone else, because if you were under bondage to someone else, you could not give proper representation. So you were not free. You were still under bondage. And then all your rights and powers are basically also enumerated by the Bill of Rights, because it wasn't all that explicit enough for people in the Constitution. So that's why they had to write the Bill of Rights out there to help the people understand that they had all these rights. But it was already addressed in the Constitution if you know what you were looking for. Now, in a court, all these courts that you go into, everybody is talking about them being in maritime law. No, they're in feudal law. And basically all those judges are nothing but auctioneers. I don't know if any of you guys have ever gone to an auction. But basically one of the things you have to do if you're going to be in an auction, you have to first register. Second, you get a card. And third, on that card, there is a number. And then when you want to buy something, you hold up that card, and basically then the auctioneer, when it is over and done and the sale is completed, he lowers the hammer, just like the judge does on the bench. He's nothing but an auctioneer, a feudal auctioneer. Now, you can come in and contest those items in that they were done in a fraudulent manner with deception in the process. If you go into court and they have a charge on you, you give them a copy of your certificate of live birth. To set off, you do a preferential assignment either to your defense attorney or to the prosecuting attorney to have the item set off from your fictional person's estate, from your fee simple estate. Now they are under obligation to make that settlement because you've given them the assignment. And basically they can't come back and say, well, my dog ate my assignment, so that's why I can't turn it in. You tried that with the teacher, and basically half the time you got an F. So they have to complete these items. And if they don't, then you turn around and you file the complaint up to the complaint department at the Attorney General's office, because all of these bar attorneys are working for the Attorney General, for the Lord of the Manor. They're just little barons compared to the main baron, that Attorney General. But when you get ready to come out, you're going to go right to the Attorney General, and you're going to assign that to him to basically broker that item out of the system, that estate. Remove all the bonds, take out all the brokerage fees, all the unjust, any liens that are there, that are against it, any taxes that are due against it, usury taxes, and settle them and give you the just residue. And that's addressed in basically turning around and giving you your pure, lawful, fee simple inheritance estate. Then I'll have to go back through and try and find all these words, and then I may have another call, or I'll just send the document over to Tom when I get it all redone again. But if you go through the fee and the fee simple and the feudal items in the process, and then that leggy, L-I-E-G-E, all definitions under that, ancestral, and homage, H-O-M-A-G-E. Okay? And then that should pretty much tie everything together for you in the understanding. So, okay, *6 if you want to ask any questions, and go ahead and ask questions.
Patrick?
Yeah.
This is Tom. I'm on. I do have very slow bandwidth, and I'm able to receive and send emails, so we'll be able to handle that tomorrow. But I can't make calls.
Okay. Well, basically, I can't send it to you until I get it all redone now, because all that stuff that I did over the last day and a half or so.
Right. I just want to let you know I can probably get it and post it when you send it.
Okay.
Anyhow, this should all be cleared up by 4:00 tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Now, I probably won't have it done by that time, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have a question? Like I said, *6 if you want to ask anything. Nobody have any questions?
I looked up a number of these definitions. What I'll do is I'll put what I looked up in the Skype group, the words that you had given me last week or a few days ago.
Okay.
So they can have a head start on it.
I wasn't quite clear. Did you say that we could use the Social Security number instead of the estate EIN? Because I don't have an estate EIN.
You got to get an estate EIN. You got to declare that guy dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I called up the IRS down in Atlanta, Georgia, and chewed him out for about a half hour, and the guy finally understood what I was trying to say, so they turned around and sent me the estate EIN. I didn't have to fill out the form. He did it for me. So some of these guys do know what when you use the right terms and everything, what's really going on.
And where do we apply for that?
You need to go in and pull up an SS4 form, and on there it will tell you where to send it to. It'll probably be more likely to Cincinnati.
Okay.
It's on the form where that's to be sent into. And I think the vast majority of them all go into Cincinnati.
Right, some samples of that are on the Yahoo group and the Concurrent.
Well, they need to go in and basically pull it down from the IRS website so that they've got the latest form.
That's true. So we do have
because yours was about 2 years old or so.
Oh, okay. I did get mine. I wrote it out, faxed it in. I got it back.
Patrick, this is Kurt.
Yeah.
I just received the thumb drive that you sent me of the various information. So the stuff that you sent me, hold off on doing that and do this?
Well, you need to study all that stuff that I sent you, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Get the understanding, because that's a lead-in to basically this other stuff about, and see, I was talking about the estates in there too already, but I wasn't talking about in this feudal law system scenario.
Right. Okay.
And I didn't have also that we needed to have that estate EIN number in the process.
Right.
The one thing I think I was trying, I don't know whether I even had that on there, was about the birth date. That's one of the key things that people have got to get identified out here, because that now makes a separation that there's really two different people. Two different persons, not people. There's only one people, and that's you. The others are all just persons.
So to help me understand the birth date, are you saying use the date of conception as the beginning point?
No, forget the date of conception, okay?
Uh-huh.
You take the date you were born.
Right.
That is the birth date for your birth sac.
Okay.
For your person that's on that certificate of live birth.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
That's being operated in the feudal law system. That person is using that birth date. Now, your real birth date, you add 3 months to it, and now that will give you your first birth date, and basically now 12 months back from that will give you the date of your conception.
Right. Okay. So my certificate of live birth says the last part of June for my birth date. Then I add 3 months would be last part of September is my first actual birth date. So 25 years from that would be my...
No, you add 24 to that because that's the first birthday. So now you go out 24 more years, and that would give you your 25th birthday.
Okay, got it. All right, I understand.
Okay. Math 101.
I had a hard time with Math 0.5.
Okay, 102. Any other questions? If I get this all pulled back together, I may have a call Wednesday night and try and go over this. But otherwise, if you know anybody who wants some of this information that I have, then I'll try and put it on. I should have put it on these DVDs and thumb drives that I sent out to all the dictionaries. I don't know whether you guys have all the dictionaries, Bouvier's, Ballantyne's, Black's, that you can copy from or whatever. But I'll try and put those on them, and then basically, I just want people that basically to know that when they are going to do my stuff, and basically then they're paying for it, and I don't expect them to hand it out to other people. If the other people want the information, they come to me to get it, okay, in some of these items. But so much of my documents have been out there floating around on different websites, being utilized by other people. Some people are charging for all the work that I did in setting the documents up, and then others are out there using them, but they're using them, they're modifying them and using them with the wrong intent because they don't fully understand what I was trying to do with those documents, and some of them are getting themselves into trouble. And everything that I've done, basically, I've had visits from these people, but basically I stand my ground to them, and basically when you do that, they can't harm you. Now, some of the local policemen, they're stupid as rocks, okay, because they don't get the most intelligent people to be the law enforcement people out here. They just want to get thugs to go out in a lot of cases. So you've got to play the game in a sort of a way to just sort of protect yourself. If need be, go in and basically address certain things to the county attorney or whatever and say, hey, or to the sheriff. The sheriff is a lawful de jure peace officer in the county. All the deputies are basically operating in the feudal law system, so they're the thugs for the feudal barons. But if you start going in the right way and you don't cause any harm, they cannot harm you. Okay? You don't need a driver's license. You don't need auto insurance. You don't need registration on the vehicle. When you're doing all that, you're registering those items into their feudal law system so that they can turn around and make a profit off of those items. You're going to be bringing all that property out from their control. And see, in a lot of cases, some of these people that have figured this all out, they've left the country because they've gone over to China and other places to where they're not operating under the feudal law system. So it's all up to you what you want to do when you fully understand and come out of the system, okay? So, any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the call and basically call it an evening then. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Okay.